Great, great. Then I will share my screen. Hope you can see it.
Yes, we see.
Yes.
Maybe you
Okay.
can enter full mode or make it a bit bigger because
Yeah, I will just start. I think
from
it's
here
better
down,
now.
maybe you can do it a bit more. Okay, now it's
Yeah,
good. Perfect.
that's
Thank
it.
you.
Okay, great. I mean, that was wonderful. The panel was wonderful. So powerful. I like it a lot. I would like to add one more thing. What we should do as women in project management. I would suggest to celebrate our wins, because usually we give credit to our teams. So celebrate your wins and advertise those. That's a recommendation from my side. Now, getting to my presentation, why people don't buy Agile and how to make them care. And we are going to see how to overcome the resistance with empathy and some evidence. Why I choose this subject? After more than a decade of going Agile, many organizations still struggle with skepticism and passive resistance, or using Agile just as a name. And in this session, we will explore the human side of Agile transformation, why people push back, how leaders unintentionally fuel resistance. And I prepared for you also some practical approaches to shift mindsets and rebuild trust across the teams and stakeholders. A bit of myself. I'm CRISTINA NICULESCU. I am PMP here since 2010. I'm an IT consultant and a leadership advisor, and I am volunteer at PMI Romania chapter. Hello to my colleagues from Romania. For more than 15 years, I have helped technology and business leaders to navigate through organizational transformation. And I'm working with IT teams to help them build leadership capabilities, and they can sustain agile and hybrid transformation. Beside the PMP certification, I also am trained in organization psychology. It's a topic that I like very much from personal point of view. What we are going to talk about today, we are going to start about the reality and see some statistics. Then we are going to uncover the fears and concerns that lead to resistance, the human fears. And finally, we are going to have some solutions, some practical strategies in order to foster acceptance and enthusiasm for Agile. In the end, we are going to have a self-reflection to see what would be the actionable insights for our Agile transformation journey. What's the reality at this moment? I will start with some numbers. Speaking because we were discussing to back up your speech with data. Here they are. Here are some data. According to the 18th edition of State of Agile report that was released in 2025, only 13 of the organizations have actually integrated Agile in the whole business, meaning HR, marketing, legal, except the technology. The rest, 42% of them, are in a better than nothing phase. And even 6% of the respondents, they are saying that Agile is not working for us anymore. Important numbers. Let's see why is happening this. What's the context? The Agile promise faster delivery, empowered teams, continuous delivery. But the reality is that companies they see resistance, they see confusion, and the adoption is only on the surface level. What we should do, we need to understand the root causes and try to apply some targeted solutions. Before entering and detail about the fears that are behind the resistance, I would like to see also your opinion. I know that you have already mentioned what's the biggest challenge in your current agile transformation, but the question that I'm coming now to you is when your team or your stakeholders push back on agile, what do you think is the real motive behind the resistance? And you have A, B, C, D. You can use the chat. So A, they don't want their daily work to be that visible to the leadership and sometimes the delays. Or B, they are terrified of telling the client we do not know exactly what we are going to deliver in 6 months. C, they think that agile is more Jira tickets and more meetings. And D, the senior experts or managers feel their command and control authority is being washed away. So let's see, maybe someone can help me. I do not see the chat, but if you can share with me.
So we have so far A, option C, A and D. D again.
Okay, so all of the options are on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Now, let's see what are the fears behind the human fears. And resistance almost always traces back to deeply human fears. And we are going to explore the human fears from various perspectives, from the management part, from developer or the team part, and from organizational level. We will start with the management barrier. Leaders are usually used to have detailed upfront waterfall plans, so they often perceive agile iterative nature as chaotic and unpredictable. And I must confess, several years back, I was exactly like this. I didn't understand, because I want to have planned ahead, I didn't understand what was the value of agile for me as a leader. Usually leaders are focused on numbers and return of investment and cash flow, so they need predictability. Unfortunately, without the executive help and the sponsorship, agile transformation stalls before it begins, and it creates a critical top-down barrier. In the report that I was talking about, 27 of respondents said that stronger leadership support and alignment would help to more successfully adapt agile to today's environment. So this is the fear of unknown. It's the management barrier. We will continue with the team barrier. And we call the agile fatigue. Because when they hear agile, they hear more meetings or micromanagement in disguise, and sometimes, frankly, it's true. And the resistance is the brain response when you perceive the threat. Again, going back to the report, 46 of respondents consider that people resist to agile adoption because of inconsistency in processes and practices. What's my conclusion is that they get confused, and especially they do not see the value of those ceremonies. And I can give you an example from one of my clients. When I joined the team, we had a daily meeting with 2 teams, each working in different areas. And first, they did not understand why they need to be together in that daily. They were frustrated and considered it's a waste of time until the moment that they realized that even they are working in different areas, there were technical common aspects that they can share and hear and learn from one to another. Another problem for them was that it was too long. Usually the dailies are too long. If we talk together and we set up, okay, guys, we do not get over the actual status. If we want to detail something, then we are going to discuss in another meeting. Now they are happy. I need to mention to you, just because we discussed and we get to the surface what was the problem. behind their frustration. Now we go to organizational barrier. So we talked about the management barrier, about the team barrier, and now we are going to talk about the organizational barrier. And actually, this is the biggest part I can mention. When we are speaking about organizational barrier, the first thing that I have in my mind is the resource gap. We all know that you can't transform a culture only on goodwill. Even some of the executives would like to do this. True Agile adoption demands skilled practitioners, dedicated coaches, and realistic resources. The consequence of a shortage of experienced Agile coaches and Scrum Masters are time and budget needed for a genuine transformation are underestimated. Using traditional resource planning, meaning the fixed headcount and the fixed scope, doesn't fit the Agile dynamic, and usually more resources are needed. And here comes the frustration. So underestimating time and budget, more resources needed. What Agile is bringing to me? What value are they bringing to me? Another organizational barrier. How many times did you hear this sentence? This is how we are doing things here. Agile transformation requires organizational change management, not just a new framework. We know the Agile principles, we know the Agile framework, but if the organizational is not changing, then only having the framework, it will not go to anything. We have two types of barriers at the organizational level. First is the structural barrier, because having rigid structures, rigid organizational chart, silos departments are not matching with Agile model of empowerment. Hierarchy slows usually the fast decision making, what Agile requires. So we have the structural barrier, and also we have the human barrier. In terms of human barrier, traditional project managers see their authority and sometimes their roles threatened. Traditional business experts, they do not understand the concept of self-organized team. For them, this is a chaotic team. And this is how they are, because of those fears and that not understanding what's behind of this, the resistance came. Another organizational barrier is that we are already doing it, but it is false. At the organizational level, many teams believe that if they are practicing Agile and having daily stand-ups or occasionally talking to user, they are doing Agile. And this is called the cargo cult Agile, meaning that adopting the ceremonies and tools without internalizing the mindset, it's no use. If we ignore the core values of collaboration, of adaptability, of continuous learning, the consequence is that they consider they do not see any business benefit. So here comes the resistance again. We do not see the results, like this guy is saying. And last but not least, we all already, anytime we need to take care about this, it's about the risk and security teams. Risk and security teams operate on long lead times. They want extensive documentation, compliance requirements, and Agile just-in-time planning and living documentation can feel like a threat to the governance. And it's creating a powerful institutional blocker. So they might come and say, we cannot use this framework because we need to be compliant with all these regulations. The real challenge is to make the risk and security our Agile partners. We can keep the team to move fast and to adapt, and that's very important. So our role as project managers would be to talk to the risk and security teams And from my experience, if we show them that we care about risk and security controls, and we show that during, for example, sorry, during the software development process, the security is taken care of. We make the design taking care about the security, and we treat the risks at the Scrum Master level, then we are going to, step by step, have the risk and security teams next to us. These are the fears, these are the problems that I discovered during my discussions with my clients. Let's see what would be the solutions to overcome these fears. First of all, the most important, from my point of view, is finding an agile champion. And I'm not talking about a person that is trained in Agile or Agile coach, but you need a senior leader from IT department or from business. But the most important thing is they should have the authority and the conviction to be your advocate in the company. Also, identifying the right person, it's important because need to have also some organizational influence. Why I'm saying this? Because this person should remove the obstacles about taking care about the funding, about the approvals, putting resistance to the political aspects that are in a company. So it's important to think also to drive culture from agile culture, the agile transformation from the top, not only from the bottom. It's actually a collaboration from the executives and the individual contributors. That's step one, finding an agile champion on the executive part. Second part would be tailoring agile to your culture. And we know all that one size does not fit all. And the most successful adoption starts with honestly evaluating what's the organization culture. And during this assessment of your culture, meaning to understand the norms, and understand how the decision is taken, understand what are the pain points before designing an agile approach and an agile transformation. Then we all know that Agile is a set of principles. It's not a rigid prescription. Having that in mind, we can adapt the framework. We can align the Agile principles with existing practices. We should not turn down everything that is working and come with a new framework, but just adapt and be flexible, look what is going well, and try to adapt it and align it to Agile principles. And last but not least would be to be very open to dialogue, take feedback, take care about the concerns, approach in a collaborative way all these at all the levels, all this process of transformation. And the third step from my point of view will be the human element. The idea is usually it's not a problem with a process. The process and the framework is there. A problem is adapting and understanding what are people's fears and how you take them in your boat to be ready for an agile journey. And what would be the advice from my point of view? Adjusting the roles and responsibilities and the process. As I was saying, do not eliminate them. If they are okay and they are functioning, just adjust them. Clear very well what would be the managers and the project leaders will do and what they will gain in an agile world. Another very important aspect is to make transparency non-negotiable. Involve the stakeholders in every stage of the transformation. Usually people support if they create together with the others, and very important, show what the real status is. And I put here a picture, by the way. Many of the pictures that I'm having in my presentation are generated with AI. I'm a fan of AI. And the picture that I'm having here, that we show exactly what the blockers are, and exactly where. Very important is to engage everyone in the journey, starting at all the levels, starting from the executive to the development team, to the procurement, and shared all the information between all the stakeholders. Another aspect that is very important, I have discovered is that we should adapt our speech to the audience, because some stakeholders might think that sprint sounds like hurry up, and they do not like to hurry up. Or the ceremony sounds like a cult. So use human and business understandable terms. And I'm putting here some examples. Instead of saying backlog refinement, which is the concept from Agile, try saying clearing the blocks that we see ahead of us, or fail fast, another important concept. We can say validate early to save the budget. Instead of self-organizing team, you can say you have the autonomy to decide how this gets done. And finally, sprint review ceremony. May sound very precious. Maybe we can say a quick check-in to confirm if we are on track. Explaining not using very sophisticated terms or concepts, and explaining what would be the benefit of this action might change everything. As I was saying in the beginning, celebrate small win. Take a pilot. At this moment, we are having AI. AI is our friend. And find one pain point. For example, a slow approval process or a broken handoff, and apply one single agile technique to fix it. For example, discuss with the salesperson and make a prototype for a client in one of the sprints, a new feature that will be beneficial for the client. Using AI, we can create very quickly a demo version. And having the sales, we touch 2 points. If we have the sales person with us, then they see how rapidly we build that prototype. And also, we are going to have the person next to us, and we are going to show the team that we were very effectively, we solve very quickly any kind of issues that come during the sprint, the prototype session. And the second part would be that we innovated. Then the client can be happy. Some takeaways. What I would like for you to remain with the idea is that Agile is something we build with people. It's very important to have people on board. So the first part is to acknowledge the fear behind the resistance. Try to think what is happening. What is the real fear that is behind that resistance? Meet that fear with empathy. Have passion with a person. I have a very good friend who is an Agile practitioner, and he was telling me that he had the process of Agile transformation at a company in the shipping industry, and it took 2 years until that the moment they are going to have some kind of results on the Agile. So be patient. Also focus on the outcomes for the stakeholders. Translate the agile concepts into language that your stakeholders care about. Speak about budget, speak about client satisfaction, and so on. And last but not least, co-create the change with the bigger skeptics. For example, bring the tech expert to the design and design together with that person the agile flow. Involve the skeptics in the agile transformation. As usual, at the end of my presentation, I ask my audience for a self-reflection moment. And here we are with this self-reflection. One thing to try on Monday for you. Find one skeptic, an example, find one skeptic person on your team and invite them to redesign one part of your workflow. And another reflection, take one phrase to drop. For example, retire the sprint review ceremony and replace it with a specific outcome that your team will understand. This would be the end of my presentation. I thank you. I'm opening for questions, challenges, or war stories. And we can keep the conversation going. You can have here, you have